I'm Representative Joan Brady, and I serve as the Vice Chairman of the Joint Citizens and Legislative Committee on Children. And I brought with me a beautiful array of wonderful women and gentlemen, members of the South Carolina General Assembly Women's Caucus, because of course women's issues are children's issues, are all of our issues. Before children's advocacy centers existed, child abuse victims and their families were bounced from one agency to another, from one child welfare officer to the police department, to the hospital, to the prosecutor's office, repeatedly telling and rehashing their terrible, terrible, terrible stories of abuse. The criminal justice system, a system primarily designed for adult perpetrators, not child victims, lacked coordination between the police, child protective services, prosecution, mental health, and medical agencies. Duplication of efforts, along with multiple unnecessary and traumatic interviews for the children, had become the norm for a child that finds themselves in a child abuse investigation. And so, transforming the system, children's advocacy centers provide a child-friendly setting where a skilled team of professionals come together under one roof to investigate serious child abuse allegations. They conduct forensic interviews, aiding in prosecution of offenders, and provide therapy and victim assistance services to the children who are victims of abuse. Always, always keeping the best interests of children in mind. I wish I had a better statistics to share with you this afternoon, but unfortunately last year 37,000 children in South Carolina were subject of a child abuse investigation. That is just not acceptable, and I know it's not acceptable to my colleagues here behind me. But in addition to keeping the best interest of the child in mind, studies have proven that child advocacy centers, like the ones that are represented here this afternoon, these models save communities well over $1,000 per child for abuse investigations. And while money is not always the reason that we do the right thing, it certainly plays a part in the process. And this is compared to communities that do not utilize CACs. The Children's Advocacy Center model reduces duplication of services and increases collaboration of multiple parties working with these cases. And the ultimate goal, and the goal for all of you who I know worked so hard on behalf of children, is to be sure that we're keeping our children safe. And so, on behalf of the South Carolina General Assembly, my colleagues behind me, we would like to present a resolution, and of Kim Ham, the Executive Director of the South Carolina Network of Children's Advocacy Centers, and Carol Yarborough, the Executive Director of the Dickerson Center for Children, would please join us. South Carolina General Assembly, we would like to present you both with this resolution to recognize that abuse and neglect of children is a significant problem, and we declare this Wednesday, May the 23rd, 2012, as Children's Advocacy Day in South Carolina.